it happened to me. Okay, so when I hear about people talking about the neighborhood, watching after you and looking after you and disciplining you, that was real deal.
That was real. What were you doing?
Okay. My orneriness or crustiness exhibited itself when I was at Eastport Elementary, right? I would get sent to the office a lot because I would challenge the teacher about what were the requirements of doing the classwork. Why do I have to do a folder? I've already done the work. Why do I have to keep the paper? Right? I know what you're talking about. I know what I learned it. Go on. No, you need to go to the office. I can't deal with you right now. Right? And and I grew up again because of who my parents were, and just being teachers, and because in this way, I don't misunderstand me. Thank God for segregation. Okay, thank God for legal segregation. Here's why. Because it defined my community in hard terms. Okay, so I didn't have to worry about if somebody said something or did something, who else you had to answer to, or if they were even in the context of dealing with the police today is different from than the past. And see, I took that to Asheville, and I took that to St. Andrews. That those experiences of how to deal with people that don't look like you, that was already in play. Okay, so the white policemen who would patrol our area, we would know them. The white bus driver, I still remember a dude named Red driving the 33 bus. Okay, when I was a kid. Okay, the McCall Avenue bus. Okay, and you come up there, and Red would get off the bus. Okay, before there was the ADA requirements, he'd get off the bus and help the women onto the bus. He didn't care if you were black or white or whatever. He, if you needed help, that's what he'd take the time to do that. And so those were things that that's the 4 years of education through the soccer program. I think I probably did more educating when I look back, just because of what I brought to the table, and I didn't even know I had it. But you exchange with people. I'll always remember the stupid questions that I got asked.
Like what?
Like, okay, guy named Woody Woodfin. He was from Cincinnati. He was a dork. That's my.
That's your objective assessment.
We had a phrase back, and we had a phrase back then. And Chris Rock used this phrase in his comedy act, but it's cracker blank cracker. Okay, we said that back then, right? Woody was a cracker. That's all I could. He was a refined cracker. And I'm in Asheville, right? Now I grew up being raised through the YMCA. I learned how to swim during summer camp. We go out to day camp at Carl Calvin Park, because that was the black park, recreational park. Okay, so we had to go all the way up North Shore to go for summer camp. And so that's where I learned how to swim. So I knew how to swim. I had done my mile swim when I was a Boy Scout here at St. Luke's, right? And so I said, you know what? I'm gonna go try out for the swim team just to see. Even though I'm, on the freshman football team, and getting ready for basketball, and they had an indoor pool in the gymnasium underneath, and you go down there. And I went down there to try out, and I said, I'm gonna try playing basketball too, so because you had to play a sport. You had to play a sport. That was a requirement. I said, but I want to try this just to see, anybody's really good. So it was a 25-yard pool. And so I said, I'm gonna do the 50-yard freestyle. Let's just see how it goes. And so I show up there, and Woody's like, he's the big swimmer. Yeah. I didn't know black people. I said, you can't swim, can you? And then I got several more questions down the line after I beat him in the sprint. Several more questions down the line, he would ask why do black people, or why, he said, well, the word back then, the most common term was Negro, if you were nice, okay? Why do Negroes do this? Or, and you just, you have to make a decision. Do I smack them? Do I ignore them? Or do I breathe and figure out the right, and there really is no right answer, So those types of things, when they happen over and over and over and over again.
What would be some of the typical, why do Negroes, what would be some of the things you could remember being asked?
I actually got asked questions about the actual physical characterizations, okay, which had no bearing on what you were. If you had eyes to see and ears to hear, why is it that black people can dance?
Yeah.
But then and I said, are you saying you can't? Which was true that time. Forget about American Bandstand. That was, they practiced a lot. Okay, but that type of thing, the stereotypical stuff, which, if you dwelt on it, it would make you sick. It would just drive you nuts. So after a while, you just learn how to, and then you're also in the process of literally relearning who you think you might be, right? And like when I was doing that senior term paper at St. Andrews, there was stuff I hadn't. I'm an Episcopalian. I'm churched. That was stuff I had never encountered before. And when I started doing more research, all this stuff starts coming up, and I'm like, dude, I'm damn near royalty. I'm thinking, I'm really getting this attitude of, okay, calm down, calm down. But at the same time, I'm getting this reappreciation of myself, and it worked to my benefit, just in that I could not be told. I just couldn't be told anything anymore, and it just go in and sticks on me, it didn't happen anymore. So I learned also that you do have to be quiet. You do have to listen. You do have to watch, observe. I mean, if you don't do that, okay, that sets you up for anybody to tell you anything,
Right,
and to do anything to you.
so we need to begin to wind up, but are there any other questions from out there that anybody wanted to
Yeah,
ask?
what was a typical pet name a white person might have for you? I mean, what I'm saying is, there are people who call me chief not knowing that they're insulting me when they do that.
Well,
I know you had to deal with some of that. You may not be able to remember it now.
I acquired, and this started with one of my stalker buddies, one of my stalker brothers, Joe Bradshaw. I tended to be like a pit bull. Okay, I was kind of quietly combative, and once I latched on, it was hard for me to let go. And so,
Did you know that?
so it was that first semester up at St. Andrews, and well, there were other names I was called to Asheville, and nigger was one of the nigger. What's your problem? Go, okay. So, but that was nothing. It really was nothing. But at the same time, when Joe did something, and he was making fun of me, but then this other white kid who was a friend of Joe's jumped in on it too. And I said something to him, and I just told him where I put my foot. Right? Joe just looked at me and goes, "Mad dog! Mad dog!" And it stuck.
Mad Dog, all right.
So I was
Hey.
Mad Dog.
So I think we're gonna leave it there, Mad Dog,
Yeah.
okay?
And he dares to tell us,
Right, thank
oh
you,
my.
thank you so much.
Thank you.
For this.
Thank you all.
All right, remember next week, let's eat together.